Hi everyone, it's Andy from Hobby Headquarters. Well, welcome to episode 2 of building up the Tamiya 1/14 scale remote control Volvo FH16 super heavy tow truck, as you see it right here. We've got quite a bit done in this episode. We've got all of the wheels on, all of the boom with the actuator, plus all the electronics all hooked up to the radio. So we've got a little demonstration at the end of some of the sights and sounds. It's really, really cool on it. So this video won't be super long because we're going to show you how we got to here. And now that we're at this point, the next video will include what color and, start painting the body, things like that. And I know kind of debating back and forth. So if you do still have a preference, please go ahead and write it down below what preference you'd like to see it in. I've got one I'm kind of leaning towards, but I'm going to take your guys' opinion. So go ahead and write them down below there one more time. So it's a lot of fun. It's really kind of a work of art the way Tamiya designs and builds all this stuff, because I can't even imagine just sitting down at a computer trying to do the CAD work on this. It's just incredible with the screws and all the metal parts in it. Very, very nice. So enough of that talking right now. So let's get started. Welcome back to the second part of building up the Volvo, and we're building the boom right now. All I've gone ahead and done is taken the sleeve of metal, put the other sleeve inside, and then just attach these 4 screws on either side. We're sliding this shaft in here now. Then we need to secure this down because there is a flat spot, as you can see right here. So we're using the worm screws here to pin that down into the right position, and once that gets locked into place nice and tight, we have our other metal little pieces here. Drop a bearing inside each one, put a sleeve on either side, and a bearing on the inside of this one right here as well. Now I've gone ahead and attached this rod right here just to make it a little bit easier. And there's a distinctive way of putting it on. You see this little recess on that side. That means that's the inside part of it. So the bearing goes in that way. Slide that on. And then we can slide that into place. And then finally attach the last screw on this side, which I will go ahead and get that all tightened up. And I will show you what the next step looks like. And here's how nice and smooth this operates. I did have to go and unloosen these up a little bit. I had that shaft a little uneven, so we just loosened it up and then slid it into place and retightened it. Now we are attaching these screws inside here into these shafts. One thing I should also point out too, all the times I put metal on metal parts with a screw, we are using the Loctite, the thread lock that they give you. Sometimes I didn't call that out, or actually probably didn't call it out at all in the first video, but I was putting it on every time. But a few people pointed out, and I'm like, no, I did put it on, just making sure that you guys know about it. So once that gets on into place here, we can go ahead and attach this portion here. Same thing, we've attached these little metal braces, and that will hold those two together. And then we will come on the other side here and attach the exact same thing on both sides. So we'll have this whole little assembly, and we'll do that off camera. And I've also gone ahead and assembled this, which is basically a box with 8 screws here and 2 screws here that attaches this this metal where the boom is going to pivot off of. So that was a very simple build too. So let me get this portion built right here, and we'll show you how all these parts go together. Okay, let's show you how this is going to go together. So we first need to put this plastic piece into place here, and then we can take the boom that we've assembled and carefully get it to snap just like that. Then we will go ahead and put one on this side. That too snapping right into place. And finally we can take the other side of this plate, snap into place just like that, and then we've got about 12 screws just like we did on the other side here that will lock all this together. And then we get a real strong piece. And then I will get a rag and clean off all this extra Loctite right here, and I'll show you what it looks like once it's all assembled. Okay, now we're going to start to put all the little, basically accessory pieces on here. They're just for decoration. Now I've started to go ahead and sand all of them because there's all little nubs on it, but I'm kind of giving you just an idea because I'm going to get all these sanded and then we're going to repaint them black so they look proper. And you can see they'll just get glued right into place here. There'll be a plate up and top and bottom of it that'll get attached on there. And then I've gone ahead and built up one of these winches here with the rope already on it and tape keeping it from unspooling, which already happened to me one time. It went flying and went everywhere. And these are simple enough. They come apart still, so we can still do a little painting on them, and then they will get screwed right on top of here, actually going the other way, and there'll be two of those. And then plus we have these little accessory pieces that will go on insert. Oh, actually this one will go right up here. So as you can see, there's a lot to do, but it's all real simple. So I'm going to get all of this stuff built up, put on, painted, and all that, and then we can attach it. And then once that is all done, I'll knock all these stuff off right now, then we can go ahead and attach this portion right here, and that actually looks pretty simple based on the instructions too. So let me get all these parts built up and painted, and we'll come back and show you what they look like. Okay, as you can see, we've got the two winches in place here, and wow, that was a lot of work to get together, mainly because of getting this little nut inside here, holding the three pieces of plastic together and sliding the screw in at the same time. So especially the first one, because once you at least got the first one in, most of the parts were glued together there enough that you could get the other ones. But that was a better part of about, I'd say after assembling all of these portions and the rest of this, I probably spent about 2.5 hours working on this. I do have to admit, I screwed up one time and put it on backwards and had to take those off, but even then, it still was a decent amount of work. Now, with this done, we can go ahead and attach this portion of it here, and it's going to be use this big long pin here that we will slide into place like that. There will be two washers and then two cotter pins that will go on either side, and we will have this whole boom ready to go. Now we need to adjust the instructions a little bit because now they want you to mount this in place using a couple of just bars that are going to lock it in place, but we have the actuator on this now, so we need to attach the actuator for lifting this instead of those bars, and I'll show you how that goes on next. Okay, let me see if I can walk you through how this is all going to fit into place. So right here we have two bolts that are going to go on either side of that, and they're going to mate up with these two threaded screw holes right here. So that is going to get mounted into place just like this. Now normally there would be 2 stiffening rods that would go right up and through here that would lock this boom into place. But because we have the actuator, we need to put that in its place. So what we have here is this long rod with a cotter pin on it. And we're going to put this into place just like this. That's going to lock in there, and then we'll put a pin on the other side of it. And then once we get the other side bolted in, there is another long rod right here that'll go up through this portion and lock in this top right here as well. So, but the first thing I need to do is I need to actually get these screws into place, and there's some spacers and some washers and stuff that are going to be kind of difficult getting my hands in there. So I'm going to just go ahead and mount those off camera, and then for the final section I'll show you how this whole thing finally fits. I wanted to quickly just show you the setup, how that spacer is going to slide inside here. And I accidentally told you guys it's these 2 holes. It's actually these 2 holes right here, these bigger holes, which is going to make it a heck of a lot easier to get in there. So we'll go ahead and mount that in there. There'll be a threaded nut on the other side that will lock this whole thing in. There's 4 of them, as you can see in there. So we'll get that on, and then I'll show you how it all goes together. Okay, now you guys can see how the whole boom fits into place. There was one little bit of a difference. When you actually put the actuator in, you attach it further up the line here as opposed to the stays that are just put into place down here. So I guess you can obviously adjust this in the way you want it. Now I built up one of the Outriggers right here. It's just a couple of parts that go together. With this going, we can now remove these 2 screws right here, and those are the actual screws that will hold this Outrigger in place. Now there are a whole bunch of stops and switches and all other kinds of things that we need to apply for the actuator, but we're not going to put those in yet. They attach to some of the boxes and stuff on the outside, so mainly wanted to go ahead and just put that in now, get it all situated, and then as we build up we will add those parts into place. So I've got one more of these to build up. We will pull the screws out of here and attach it in there, and the next step will be to put the wheels on. I've gone ahead and set up all of the wheels, which were in tires. They were real simple, put together, just 3 bolts will hold the dualies in the back here. We will go ahead and put the necessary hardware into place and get all the wheels on here, and then we'll show you what it looks like once it's done. Okay, so now that we have all of this stuff done, we can start building up the platform for the cab. And as you can see here, there's a couple parts we've just screwed together here, including these fenders and these couple of tie downs and this other brace back here. And it'll literally tuck those wires in for the engine right in through here. It'll get screwed right into place just like that. There is another base plate right here that we've screwed these 2 white pieces on that we need to paint black. These are actually the bases of the seat, so we might not even have to on that, but that'll get screwed into place there. And finally, actually, this will get screwed into place like that. This will get screwed in right like this, and this is going to hold the MFC unit, which we've opened up our electronics pack, and it is going to get attached just like this inside here. Now we're going to do a whole section on putting this together and wiring it up and stuff like that in a minute. But for right now, I'm going to get all of this stuff screwed together so we have a nice base to attach it. And we'll also go ahead and paint these black. Okay, I'm going to show you what we've done now. So we've opened up the MFC unit, the Euro style one. And we've also opened up our Tamiya radio. And as you can see right here, we've taken the 4 wires off the MFC and plugged them directly into the receiver unit that comes with the radio. And then on this piece right here, this we have to actually open this up and put the 3 sets of wires in here. All very, very simple. It's plug in and play, and then they plug right into the actual MFC. We've built up the speaker, which was a matter of just putting this plate over it just to protect it. And I've since plugged in the battery. So now we're going to turn everything on. Also, these are all the lights that are going to go on there. I don't have the diagram yet to plug them in, but we mainly want to see if A, the transmitter and receiver are working, and also the MFC to produce sound. So first thing we need to do is go ahead and turn the actual radio on, and then we go over to this unit and see what happens. Okay, it's made its normal noises. And if we did it right, we should be able to pull this down and it should start the engine. And we have volume control. We can actually make this very, very loud. I'm actually going to lower it down a bit there. We should have a horn. And then, of course, throttle. And then reverse. So you hear the backup beeping. So it appears that everything is working so far just the way it's supposed to go. So now that I have all of this stuff, and actually let me turn this off because this is going to keep making air horn noises. And you hear it kind of wind down there. So now with this all done, ready to go, we can go ahead and mount all of these pieces into place. Now you saw me build those brackets and stuff, or show you where those brackets were going to go. The only thing that doesn't get mounted in yet is the speaker. And I've got this piece right here. The speaker is going to get mounted up in the housing of the cab, and then this top panel gets put on over it like that. There is one other piece that we have not hooked up yet to the MFC, and that is the vibration unit, because I actually went and attached it and built it up and put it inside the truck itself. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how all this gets put into place. It's just with a double-sided tape, and then we'll plug it all again one more time and try it with the vibration unit. Okay, we've disconnected the speaker for right now to have a little less wiring to put into place, and we've put our double-sided tape. So this unit is going to get mounted right just like this. This unit actually gets mounted into the back section of the vehicle, so we're not going to put that on right now. And then we can go ahead and connect the motor. And we've got the battery installed inside its case, and we've also put lots of rubber tabs around it to keep the battery still. We don't want much vibration. We want the vibration to be realistic inside. So we'll go ahead and plug this in right here, and then the final little piece is the receiver unit that is going to go right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few minutes and get all the wires organized and nice and neat, and then use not twist ties, but ties to put them down and get it all nice and neat. And then we're going to fire it up one more time with the vibration unit, which hopefully you can see right there. That'll give it a little vibration as it starts up, and then we'll hook the speaker back up, but we won't actually install it because it's got to get installed inside the cab. Okay, we've got everything all wired up and ready to go. I started to do some twist ties and stuff around some of the wiring, and then I thought I better not do that yet because there's a lot of body panels we still need to put on this, and we don't want to have to be cutting zip ties and all that stuff. Let's just wait until it's actually time to do that. So let's go ahead and turn it on, and I'll let you see the vibration unit. Turn this on as well. We've got the speaker on the outside temporarily. Okay, so this is all started on, and you should watch the vibration go right now. Wow, that is really cool. You can see the car just vibrating just a little bit right there. So, since we've got everything hooked up, let's go put it on the floor and just drive it around for a few seconds. Well, there you go, guys. Here's a quick look at how we got to this portion of the build. As you can see, it's coming along great. And as I stated earlier, it is now time to start building body panels. And if we build body panels, we obviously have to paint them all too. So I am looking forward to you guys writing down below what color you'd like to see it in. And maybe we might actually do it that color. So have a little bit more fun with this thing. And one more start. Such a cool kit. So, hey, I want to thank you guys as always for watching, and please stay tuned because we have many more videos coming.